son Jackson and I went on the Barney Riley Trail a few months ago, and we had quite an adventure. Now, the Barney Riley Trail is right outside of Markleyville in the Sierras in Northern California. So we drove over there, and it was a pretty easy drive. And just outside of Markleyville, about 4 miles, is where you find the trail entrance. And you'll see signs that actually say, you know, trail closed and this sort of stuff. Pretty much you can ignore those as long as you're in a good four-wheel drive vehicle. So we actually followed some guys in on the trail, and it was actually pretty rough in the very beginning, and then it smoothed out and was a little easier. So on the Barney Riley Trail, it's rated as a blue trail, which means it's medium difficulty. You definitely need some good high clearance to go on it, but it's pretty easy. When we were on the Barney Riley Trail, there's plenty of rocks and things to go over, but no hard, real climbing stuff. And it's a good couple of hours on the trail. So we're on the East Carson River, and one of the cool things about the campground is there's natural hot springs all around. So you can easily walk from your campsite right down to a natural hot springs, and that's exactly what Jackson and I did. So we camped out overnight, and then it was time to go home. We started back up the trail, and everything was going fine. We did some good climbing. There were some fun parts of the trail. Jackson was an incredible navigator. He never let us turn wrong, even though I wanted to go the wrong way many times, and he kept convincing me that I was wrong and he was right, and he was right. So there were some pretty good obstacles to get over, and it caused the hot oil light to go on the Jeep. Now we've added an intercooler just to keep the transmission oil cool on the Jeep. So if you're out there wheeling, make sure you add that. It's only a couple $100, but it's certainly worth it, and you don't want to see the hot oil light up on your dash. So Jackson and I were on our way back, and there was a big rut in the center of the road. So I was driving off to the left, and what I didn't notice was that there was a huge boulder hidden by some bushes, and I caught the back rear tire on that boulder, and it kicked the whole Jeep up in the air with all the load and slammed it back on the ground. When that happened, oh man, we thought we'd ruined the wheel, broken the rim, didn't know what was wrong, but the tire was wobbling just like this as we started to go forward. We drove a little bit more, and then we stopped to change the tire. I thought maybe if I put the spare on, we'd be okay. We were able to get the tire on. We had to actually dig some dirt out from under the tire to get it off, but we managed to get the tire off, put the spare tire on, and then we started on our way. Once we had the spare tire on though, I still heard lots of banging and scraping and other noises like that. It wasn't very good. We didn't fix the problem. And when I look back, that wheel was still wobbling. Now we were able to make it off the trail, which is good. But on our way to Markleyville, a CHP officer pulled up behind us, and he flagged us down and said, "Guys, you gotta stop, that wheel's gonna come off." So we pulled into Markleyville and stopped the Jeep. Luckily, I've got AAA. Jackson here just laid up on top of the Jeep while waiting for the AAA truck to show up, but we made it home safe. We shot all the video on the trail using a Rilo 360 camera. I want to do a shout out to Darwin on the Trail. He's a great YouTuber. He just finished hiking the PCT. Got one of his shirts on right here. Subscribe to him on Patreon if you have a chance.